The first to the fourth orders will be read by the Secretary of the National Assembly.
Speaker.
Honorable Ndlozi.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I want to rise with all earnestness and with due respect. Speaker, we have a big problem in that we cannot be seen to be compliant and corroborating with crime.
What is the point on which you are rising?
This is the point of 92 in terms of the rules. We can't allow Mr. Gigaba to address Parliament because he's the sole reason why we have a state of capture in South Africa.
Please take your seat.
He's the one that has handed all public state institutions to a collapse with the Guptas, Honorable Speaker. Parliament can't be seen to legitimate what is essentially a Gupta stooge. There's no difference between him and Dutuzane.
Honorable Ndlozi, please
it's literally going there. He's an extension of Mr. Zuma in the treasury to frustrate our funds.
Please take your seat.
We are persuading this House that let's allow the commission to be set up. Let's not be associated with criminals. Gigaba is a criminal.
Honorable Speaker, may I ask the Sergeant at Arms, where's the Sergeant at Arms? Should go and assist Mr. Ndlozi to leave the House. No, you must first ask him to leave.
Honorable Speaker.
Speaker.
You must first ask him to
Honorable
leave.
Speaker.
Speaker, in terms of the rules, you don't enforce that law in that way. There's a legitimate issue that is being raised here.
Honorable.
You can't allow a Gupta boy,
Honorable.
a boy of the people to rest this House.
Shivambu, you will also have to be assisted to leave the House if you want to.
Collaborate us in crime here. So that is a simple issue that we are requesting that
you can't just rise and say such and such a person is not allowed in the House. You have no such power yourself. So please take your seat or
but there's a
leave
legitimate
the
question
House.
that we are raising here, Speaker.
Honorable Shivambu.
Honorable Speaker.
Point of order, Chair. King,
the Sergeant at Arms.
Honorable Speaker.
Must please assist.
Honorable Speaker. You cannot just decide to remove people when you feel like it.
Speaker. That is not how this procedure is implemented.
I will now switch off.
Honorable Speaker, there are procedures in this House.
That is not how you implement the Sergeant at Arms.
Honorable members, I have asked you to take your seats, and I'm now on the floor, and I'm asking you to be orderly and to take your seats. And I am going to I'm going to follow the order, I'm going to follow the rules, and I will let you know at the correct point what I would wish done. And you will not disrupt the business of this afternoon. And if you insist on your behavior, we shall have to ask you to leave us to proceed with the business of the House. Today, we are going to have the business of the House proceeded with. And we insist on the business of the House proceeding. And it can't be your word against mine. the secretary shall proceed.
Medium-term budget policy statement, introduction adjustments appropriation bill, introduction rates and monetary amounts and amendment of revenue laws bill, introduction taxation laws amendment bill.
Honorable members of the EFF, before I call upon the minister, I want to know whether you have made up your mind which one of you I'm listening to.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. We're raising a legitimate question here that South Africa is in crisis because of Mr. Gigaba, who ended over state
Honorable
companies
Shivambu,
to the Guptas.
that's
We are
not a
collapsing
valid
today,
point.
And we are collaborating in crime if we allow him to address this
Honorable
parliament about
Shivambu,
monies. The Constitution
the Minister of
has got an
Finance is going to
obligation on
address us.
So no, he's not going to do that today.
He's
We
going
can't
to do
be- no,
it.
It's not going to happen today. We can't be collaborators of
Honorable
crime
Shivambu,
that is going to be committed by Malusi Gigaba today.
That
is a
is
simple
not-
message that we're saying that we can't allow Malusi Gigaba to speak today.
Honorable
or
Shivambu,
we're not going to have parliament today.
I
As
wish
simple
to
as that.
proceed. I wish to proceed, and therefore it means you can't stay in the house while we are proceeding, because we are going to proceed with the business of the house this afternoon. And so I have to ask that you leave the chamber, Honorable
The
Shivambu.
chief whip of the NC.
I'm not going to go anywhere, Speaker. We're not leaving to anywhere. This is our parliament. We've been elected by the people of South Africa.
Honorable
We're not
Shivambu.
going to allow a criminal to address this house today, please.
No, Honorable Shivambu. You really have to take yourself and your job seriously. And therefore,
Speaker,
having given you the opportunity
Honorable Speaker,
to comply
Speaker, on the
with the
basis of
rules,
what are you
I'm
dismissing
now
Honorable
asking
Shivambu?
you, if you
On
don't
the basis
want
of
to stop
what?
disrupting,
He spoke and you allowed him
leave the
to
house.
speak.
order Speaker.
And whilst he was speaking, you did not rule.
Speaker, I'm calling
On the basis
point
of
order.
what?
Honorable members, you know that if you have any allegations about the minister, how you must submit them. You
Speaker,
know
can
how
I
to
speak?
submit them, not in this rowdy, disruptive fashion.
Speaker, we are not rowdy. We are calling for a point of order as members of parliament. Can you recognize us? Can you listen to us? Don't rush us, Speaker. Just listen to us and then respond. There are rules in this house, Speaker. We can't just yes, you please.
The chief whip of the majority party, I'm told, has had his hand for
But
some
Speaker,
time.
can you recognize me first?
No, I'm not recognizing.
My hand is up, Speaker.
Honorable Chief Whip, please
But Speaker,
proceed.
you see, we are not neutral.
I am not
I have my hand
recognizing
up
you. I've
before
told you.
the chief whip
Take
of
your
the
seat,
ANC.
Honorable Shope.
Yeah, please recognize me as well. I'm the member of this house
Take
as well.
your seat,
him.
Honorable Shope. Please take, rise, Honorable.
Speaker, before
Thank
you
you,
allow...
Honourable Speaker.
Speaker,
Our rules, Honourable Speaker, are clear, and they say if anyone in this House has an allegation to make against any member of this House, it can only be made through a substantive motion. This is in our rules. But secondly, Speaker, Rule 85, that deals with reflections upon members, the president and ministers or deputy ministers who are not members of the assembly, says no member may impute improper motives to any member or cast personal reflections upon a member's integrity or dignity or verbally abuse a member in any other way. What the EFF is doing today, Honourable Speaker, is reflecting badly on a Minister of Finance without substantively putting a motion before this House. In fact, they are in conflict with our rules as we speak now. This is gross violation on their part of our rules. We agree with you, Speaker. is either they toe the line of these rules or leave the house.
We're not here to legitimize criminals in the name of rules, Mr. Mutembu. You couldn't stop corruption from
Honorable
that side.
Ndlozi.
It defeated you. Now you want to bring it to parliament with rules. Gigaba is a Gupta stooge. He's there to
Honorable
steal the
Ndlozi.
people's resources. That is what
I
he
have
is.
given you a further opportunity to comply with the directives of the chair as assisted by the Sergeant at Arms and the General House that is cooperative and waiting for us to proceed with the business of the House, and the honorable, supposed to be honorable members of the EFF benches are consistently showing an attitude of not being able and not willing to respect the House and
That
to
is not how
respect
the
the
rules are
rules.
applied. That is not how rules are applied.
Honorable Shivambu,
rules are not
I'm not
applied
going to
like
be
that.
lectured by you about
But you
what
must
the
read the rules
rules
properly.
are saying.
I
I
have
am
to
not
lecture
going to
you
allow
because I'm
you,
not reading
and
the
I'm
rules
asking
properly.
you now
The rules say you must
leave
deal with
the
the member
chamber.
concerned.
Honorable
Who are you talking
Shivambu.
about? You can't generalize the whole caucus of the
Honorable
EFF.
Shivambu,
Who are you talking about
if
now?
you are, I'm talking about Honorable
address me
Shivambu.
then.
If you know what your
Address
job
me only,
is.
don't address the whole caucus.
I am
If you're
also
dealing with me, deal with
addressing
me alone.
Honorable Ndlozi, and I'm addressing all
Must I
other
stand when you address me?
EFF
Must I stand or sit
members,
down when you address me?
all other EFF members who
Must I take
also
my seat when you
disruptively
address me?
raising their so-called points of order when they know that they are being disruptive, including Honorable Mkhalipi.
But Speaker,
I
what
am
must
not
we do?
recognizing you,
But we
Honorable
have
member.
our hand up, Speaker, and you don't want to point
Take
at us.
your seat.
But you give Jackson Mtembu the chance to speak. Why are you not neutral, Speaker? We are members of Parliament.
You
are
don't
equal.
want to be given a chance
Yes,
to speak.
I had my hand
You want
up.
to disrupt the
No,
House.
we are members.
You want to be disrupting the
No,
House. That's
Speaker,
what you've
please
come with.
listen to us.
Honorable members,
Rule 31. Rule 31, Speaker. Speaker, you are inconsistent, you are biased. You have just given Mr. Jackson Tembu an ample of time to address the House without interrupting him. South Africa.
Honorable
he is
members.
the one that has enabled
honorable
Guptas
members, I will
to
now have to call
to force the country
the
into this
protection services
perpetual
of
corruption.
Parliament
So
to
we are saying
assist
this
you to
man,
go out.
he must not address the House today. Because if he address the House, we will be complicit to corruption.
This is what is going to happen. This is what is going to happen. We're giving a way forward now. We're going to leave you to continue with your corruption and listening to a corrupt person. We're not going to form part of this nonsense of a captured soul called Malusi Gigaba. We're surrendered. Our companies is going to sell telecom today.
We
Yes,
welcome
we do
your
that
leaving
every
the
time.
House.
It's going to finish off this country because of the corruption that is presided over by Jacob Zuma. and the
Honorable
We're done with this thing.
Shivambu, we welcome you leaving the House.
Gupta puppet.
This is not your house, this is our house.
Gigaba is a puppet.
I call
Sala la masela lawa.
upon the Minister of Finance.
Leave there.
Thank you. Honorable Speaker, Mr. President, Deputy President, Cabinet colleagues and Deputy Ministers, Deputy
Minister of Finance, MECs for Finance, leaders of political parties, Governor of the Reserve Bank, Commissioner of the South African Revenue Service, representatives of organized business and labor, civil society and faith community leaders, honorable members, fellow South Africans, Molweni, Sanbonani, Dumelang, Goeiemiddag, Absheni. It is my privilege to present the 20th medium-term budget policy statement for consideration of the House and all South Africans.